Everyone, so welcome to today's video. We're going to talk today about how you can protect yourself and your family in 2023 if there is a recession, and also some really actionable things you can do which other people aren't telling you about, which I've done and which will make money and save you money. So I think it's drizzly outside now, so I'm out with the dog. It's going to get back in and then let's get on with the video. Okay, so let's get into the video and talk about how you can survive in 2023, what actual things you can do to cut costs and generate income. The generating income things are things that I've done. I've actually done those. I've made money from them. You don't have to spend money either to do them, which is ideal, because a lot of these ideas that people are coming out with about Amazon and all the rest of it, you have to put money in, you have to spend money on products that don't work. You're probably going to lose thousands of pounds before you make any money. Same with a lot of the property stuff in terms of sort of doing rent to rent HMOs or serviced apartments. You're going to have to put an awful lot of thousands of pounds in. A lot of people don't have that money to put in, so they need to generate income off the back of nothing. So 2023 recession, there probably will be a recession because we need to bring down the cost of goods, so we have to stop people spending money on goods for the cost of the goods to come down, right? The thing to remember is that a technical recession means that for 2 consecutive quarters we go backwards in terms of output. So by the time you get told you're in a recession, you would have already been in it, and it wouldn't have probably changed anything in terms of what you're doing. So just remember that the world still turns. There's still a lot of business being done. There's just less business being done than there was the previous quarter. There's not no business. That sounds silly thing to say. There's not no business being done. Business is being done. It's just less of it. And you do, if you're really concerned, and say for instance you're worried about your income and your outgoings. So the first thing to do is this is like a diet, right? People say I can't work out why I'm putting on weight. Well, you're eating too much. I'm not. Write down everything you eat in a day, add up the calories. I guarantee you're eating too much. 99.9% of the time people add up what they're eating and they're eating too much. They just haven't realised it. So if you're having less money in your bank account every month and you don't think you're spending money, do a dump into a spreadsheet from your online banking and add up everything what you're spending money on. Cut all of the unnecessary costs. So if you're in real problems, you're going to cut things like the gym, Sky TV, you're going to reduce your mobile phone bill. If you've got an iPhone on a monthly contract, you can probably sell that phone, pay off the contract, and then get a cheap phone for £100 to last you until things sort of calm down. You can remove any gym memberships. You can go running outside. You could buy a kettlebell. All of these costs, which could be an extra few £100 a month, you can get rid of. If you've got a car, an expensive car on monthly payments or lease, you can get rid of that car, go out and buy a cheap Ford Focus or a Vauxhall. I once had a Ford Focus that I paid £200 for. I was buying a house at the time. I had to save up £80,000 deposit money to pay for stamp duty and to get into the house. So I drove around in a £200 Ford Focus, even though at that time I had a lot of income coming in. One thing that people might not be aware of is if you look in the terms and conditions of your lease or HB contract, there will probably be a clause in there that says, well, I guarantee there is a clause in there that says, if you pay half of what's owed, you can terminate the contract, hand the vehicle back, and not have to pay anymore. So look at that. If you're in a real desperate situation, you can do these sorts of things to get you out. So do that first and get all of your monthly outgoings down. The main thing about reducing monthly outgoings is that outgoings is generally not the problem. It's mainly income, because most people, you can probably save a couple of £100 a month, but if you're not bringing in any money, it doesn't really make too much of a difference, to be quite honest. If you talk to the mortgage company or the credit card company and say, I'm having financial difficulties, they will work with you to make sure that you can restructure things and pay off your debts. They want the money back. They don't want to lose the money. A lot of the time you can get, some people get payment holidays on their mortgages and it doesn't show up on a credit profile, or this is before it goes to things like voluntary arrangements where they do show up on your credit profile, where you've got to a stage where you've had to agree to repay the debt at, say, a small monthly payment over a long period of time. Mortgage holiday payments generally don't fall into that category, but talk to the mortgage company and do all these things before you bury your head in the sand and you stop making the monthly payments. You don't want to do that. The first thing you want to do is to talk to the companies. Make sure that you don't get any bad information on your credit file. If you do get bad information on your credit file, it's not the end of the world. Usually in sort of 6 months time or longer. I've not done any research on this for quite a while, but it tends to come off when your credit profile can recover. It's only things like voluntary arrangements and CCJs that stick on your credit profile for long periods of time. So make sure you do all of those things before you get into these desperate situations. So first part of the video, we've focused on removing all of our overheads and got our cost base down. The next part of the video we're going to talk about is how we increase our income in difficult times to make sure that we're able to pay all our debts and carry on with our mortgage payments and everything else. So let's talk about that. So welcome to part two. So we're going to talk about how to increase your income, which is going to be the biggest thing. But more importantly, we're going to talk about how to increase income without having to spend too much money. So I see on LinkedIn and on Facebook other people asking for people to do sales work on a commission-only basis, and all you have to do is sit at home and use your telephone. So, and these are quite high-paid and well-paid jobs as well, and they'll give you a list of customers to call, and you either get paid an hourly rate or you'll get paid if you close a customer. There's no investment involved from your side at all. You're selling products for somebody else. They've got the product they want you to sell. That is by far the best way to generate some income quickly. I will do another video on how you sell, because I've been doing sales for 20 years. It's not as difficult as what people make out, but it is a bit uncomfortable sometimes. The other thing you can look at is you can approach a business who has a product and say to them, I want to sell your product for you. I'm going to do it from home. I'm going to pay for my own laptop and telephone, but I want you to pay me a split of the profit you make on the sales. So what other things can you do? Well, you can rent out a room in your house on Airbnb or via Airbnb or via Gumtree, and you can do that. I think it's up to £7,000 a year tax-free, but you better check because I haven't looked at it for quite a while. You could go and, so I did this once when I was looking for properties to take on. I found sort of too many in one go. So I decided to sell on some of the properties that I didn't want. So I just set this person up. I advertised it on Facebook. I set this person up with the agent that I was dealing with on the properties. This guy paid me a fee. They did the transaction and I earned some money. So that was pretty good. Another thing you can do is you can learn how to do social media marketing, because if you're on Facebook and TikTok all the time and you know how to do it, you can approach local businesses and say, look, let me manage your social media. You can learn how to do SEO. There's loads of videos online how to do that, and some there's some other things on Facebook. If you look up a guy called Dan Ray on Facebook, he has a very low investment monthly fee on a course to learn how to do SEO. You could learn how to build websites and charge people, small local businesses, for that. Building websites is now very easy compared to how it used to be. You can pretty much go online and Google how to build a WordPress website, and you will find lots of interesting stuff about how to do it. Hopefully you found some use in the things that I've mentioned to you, and it can help you out if you are in trouble. Please, drop me any questions in the comments. I would personally avoid things like these Amazon things and drop shipping and stuff, because you have to generally have a upfront investment. A lot of the guys selling these sorts of courses want you to buy the course, and a lot of the guys don't appear to be very wealthy anyway, looking at their backgrounds and their businesses. It's just I'd avoid those sorts of products and people, because they all seem to be about selling the courses and not actually making much money themselves from doing what they're telling you to do. So if you're struggling, please let me know and I'll see what I can do to help. I'd recommend you probably watch another video of mine about how to start a service-based business, which would be very useful to you to learn about what things you can do to generate some income quickly. I will see you in the next video.